edition of Field Force Friday. I'm Adam Bartos, thanks for being here. Today I'd like to talk specifically about CAT dealers and their heavy equipment dealers, whether it be power systems or heavy equipment in the field. Why are we talking specifically about Caterpillar, you ask? Two reasons. One, they are a very robust heavy equipment organization. Like I said, they have power systems for generators, they have heavy equipment for earth moving, and that's something that applies really nicely to a lot of different heavy equipment dealers. You may be cranes, you may be something else, but it will certainly apply. Number two is we're actually pretty familiar with Caterpillar as a company. We've partnered with them and we've done some work with their field service organization. So we kind of know where their head's at and we have a feel for their business and their industry and where they might be going in the future. So first, where are they at today? Where's Caterpillar at today in 2015? They have a huge, very robust dealer network dealing a lot of different heavy equipment to a lot of different industries and a lot of different end users. And all of those tools in the field require service. And those service technicians are manning things a little differently depending on the dealer. And so different processes, different service technologies, different technologies in the field itself keeps things a little bit disjointed, although the product is fairly consistent. We've talked about that in streamlining dealer networks in previous videos. So that point kind of does come back and apply. So where are we going? We're going to fast forward, we're going to hop in a time machine, and we're actually going to be talking about 5 years down the road, what a CAT dealership would look like in the year 2020. So bear with me, we're going to go into the future. Roads, where we're going, we'll still need roads. Name that movie. So to begin, Internet of Things connected equipment in the field. So we're fast forwarding 5 years. We see the Caterpillar equipment, the machinery, the generators, whatever the case, using that embedded technology to report back to either dealerships or Caterpillar as the OEM. Now, why is that important? Because there's equipment in the field that requires preventive maintenance, that requires repairs, that requires break-fix type installations or repairs, and those current day are managed if the user is on their business site and something breaks down and they can't continue their operation. So if I'm a construction worker and we're managing an installation of a road or a highway and all of a sudden the equipment breaks, I'm experiencing downtime on site and I can't continue my job. That's lost efficiency, lost money, and lost productivity. So that's not a great thing. Internet of Things connected devices and equipment in the field can solve that problem. So devices will report data back to the office, whether it be they need a repair, whether it gives them diagnostic information on kind of current status of maybe oil levels or different features of the equipment. And the dealer or Caterpillar corporate can use all that information and maybe dispatch a technician proactively. If a machine says, hey, it looks like some of these parts are wearing, we need to dispatch a technician in the field, so we repair that immediately before any downtime occurs so our customer doesn't experience any loss of productivity. The other good thing is that those diagnostics can enable more sales. So again, if a bulldozer is in the field and it says, like I said before, these parts aren't really working all that great, you can send out a person in the field to sell some more service contracts, sell some parts, and enable more profit for your dealership. Number two, we have kind of binary code up here, and that's just a visual for data, big data, and predictive analytics more specifically. So I talked about Internet of Things connected devices and feeding back data to the dealership. What do you do with all that data? Predictive analytics and software capabilities at the dealership level will enable you to become much smarter about what your systems are doing in the field. So getting that data from the field and analyzing it in the office, whether it be with software or your own internal processes, lets you become much more intelligent about your equipment in the field. So what parts are not working properly? What's a design that tends to have more issues? Maybe it could be geographic location. There's something in certain industries and certain regions that don't perform as well. That becomes a very useful bit of information because you can become much smarter about your equipment in the field, what works and what doesn't, and then again, it all goes back to that customer experience, that downtime. And if you can enable yourself to be smarter about that and what will break when, it's taking the step further to my machine is telling me that it needs a repair, and we'll be able to know when your machine might already need a repair. So that's a really big value add for dealerships there. So something we see Caterpillar going to in the future. Number 3, the Across the Table initiative is one that's been pretty well publicized for Caterpillar, and what they're doing is among all of those dealers within their Caterpillar network, they want to make sure that all those dealers are doing service really, really well. We've talked about this in spades. Service is a huge part of a heavy equipment dealer's business, and they need to be doing it as well as possible because it's a customer-facing part of the business. It's a revenue generator, and it's really where your equipment is being used the most. It's those who are giving you feedback on your actual manufactured product. So this is a really important part of the business process and not one to be ignored. So the Across the Table initiative is having all these dealers look at a little more intently and more carefully what they're doing for service, making their technicians more efficient, do it smarter, go to the job with the correct information so you can do the correct job. And so that ties us back to all of this information here. Go to the job with the correct information, know a little bit more about the equipment, even if it's telling you that it needs a repair, and complete those with a good mobile app and a software as a service tool. And so the dealer network, we see adopting that in the next 5 years or so. Many of them, if not all of them, becoming much better at that part of the business, and that enables huge amounts of more profit for CAT and great things for the customer as well. So all these things kind of working in tandem to make a better service organization. Number 4, this is something that's more far out than 5 years, but we're talking about connected autos and connected fleet management in the field. So whether it be your service vans, whether it be bulldozers, whatever the case, we talk about self-driving cars quite often. This is kind of the first step in that direction. So a custom experience depending on your service technician. It could be live traffic rerouting if you have a technician going out to a job site. There's a traffic accident or something broken on the road or some construction that is really going to delay that service technician getting to the end user. That connected automobile can reroute the technician and get them to the job much faster. So there's features that go with a connected automobile that would really supplement your physical technician getting to the job more efficiently and getting them to the job in a way that they can manage it better. So tailoring that experience to your technician and getting them on site to the customer as quick as possible is a way we can do that. And you're already seeing with leading car manufacturers, Subaru, Ford, and the list goes on and on, they're adding Wi-Fi and 3G, 4G capabilities to their cars, and that enables a whole lot of different things, especially for the heavy equipment industry. So keep an eye on that. If we're looking at more than 5 years out, we might be talking hovercrafts, but not today. So you may be wondering now, this is just 4 quick points about the future of a CAT dealership. And again, it can apply to any of your dealerships. You might be wondering, well, 5 years is not that far out. It's 2015, 2020 is just right around the corner. And that's a good point, but our point is that many of these things already exist. It's trending in the direction where many, if not all dealerships are going to adopt these technologies, become smarter about their equipment, better at service, and better at service management and data operations, where again, it's all about that customer experience and making you better at service as a dealership. This enables, as I've said time and time again, better profits, better sales, getting your technicians to the job at the right time, quicker with the right data. It lets you do everything quicker and more with the same amount of technicians you already have. So you don't have to really change up your staffing level. You can service dozens more end users a day if you adopt these principles and become smarter about your operations. So I know 5 years seems like a lot, but it's really not. This has already arrived. This is just where the market's going, and this is where we see it being in 5 years. So welcome back to 2015. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you had a good experience as we traveled to 2020 with our CAT dealers. That's all I have for today. So thanks for attending another episode of Field Force Friday. If you've missed any of our past episodes, be sure to check our website that we'll have on the last screen here, and be sure to join us next week. Have a good weekend.